What's up, YouTube? Richard Palmasana here. Today I'm going to be doing an interview with one of my good friends. He's also a drone pilot, and he's not a local guy. As a matter of fact, he's from Australia. He has his own YouTube channel called Aussie Mark. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check out his channel. It's well worth a subscribe. A lot of good drone videos. He also has how-to videos. So Mark, I want to thank you for joining me and taking the time out to do this interview, buddy.
No worries, Richard. Thanks for having me on your channel. I really appreciate it.
Where at in Australia are you actually from? And if you would, can you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Richard, not a problem. I'm from Townsville, which is a city in the northeast coast of Australia in the state of Queensland. We're very tropical here. A bit like Florida, I guess you'd say, but a lot drier than that. We're near the, well, relatively near the Great Barrier Reef. We're certainly protected by the Barrier Reef from any big surf, so we get no surf up here like they do down in Sydney and other places. And yeah, about myself, well, I'm from a place called Mackay, which is about 4 hours drive south of where we are now here in Townsville. I went to school there, and then I came up here to Townsville to Teachers College in the late 70s. I'm giving away my age now, aren't I? And yeah, so graduated from Teachers College, went to a few different places, met my wife, got married, and we've come back to Townsville, and we've been living here for probably about 30 years now, I guess, in different locations around Townsville. We love it here. There's just my wife and I, no kids, and we've got a gorgeous little miniature Labradoodle named Layla as well. So we treasure her very much.
Oh, I was scrolling through your videos, and to me it seems that you've been in this for a long time because you have a large variety of videos. And I noticed the video you used to do pottery.
Yeah, that's right, Richard. I actually left teaching to become a full-time potter, making pottery, wheel-thrown pottery, so all sorts of things like teapots, casserole dishes, coffee mugs, you name it, I made it. And I did that for 10 years, running my own studio and selling my pottery around the place. Yeah, you'd need to go right back in my channel to see some of those old videos, which you obviously have done. I appreciate that. Don't do the pottery anymore. You know, when you kind of get to a certain skill level as a professional, I guess you would call it, it's pretty hard to go back to just doing it as a hobby. When you used to be able to churn out 100 coffee mugs a day, you know, to go back to just making a coffee mug or two, but still needing all the equipment. It's just not for me. So I sold everything and I've moved on.
Well, I tell you, from watching the videos, you do some awesome work.
Well, thanks again, Richard. Yeah, as you saw, I decided to go back to access a potter's wheel in a few, probably a couple of years ago now, 1 or 2 years ago anyway, I can't remember exactly, just to see if I still had the skills, the wheel throwing skills. And so there's a couple of videos where you'll see me actually throwing pots on the wheel. Yeah, I think it was a jug and a bread crock or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I just wanted to see if I could still do it, and I still can. And thanks to being a member of the local Potters Association, I was allowed to have access to a wheel to make those videos and film that. It was just to see if I could do it, and yeah, I can.
You have a drone video. I believe the title is called World's Largest near Townsville, Australia at Sunrise. It's absolutely stunning. I would like to show the viewers a piece of this video, and if you can explain it while in flight. I thought it was a bridge, but it looks like something like a conveyor belt or something. All I know, it's like 6 kilometers long. It spreads across the whole ocean. Explain that, if you would.
Sure, I was really happy with that one, Richard. You're right. It does seem to be one of my best so far, but there's better to come, I'm sure. I certainly hope so. That place was called Lucinda, and it's about an hour and a quarter to an hour and a half's drive north of us. And that thing that I was flying over, the world's largest, it's the world's largest sugar jetty, world's largest sugar jetty. And it's over 6 kilometres long, stretching from the coast right out into the deep water, with a huge conveyor belt on it, and all the sugar that's harvested in that local area. In the Ingham is the main town in that area, in the Herbert Shire, and yeah, the sugar is taken by conveyor belts the full 6 kilometres out into the really deep water, and then deposited into large cargo ships, where most of it's taken, I believe, to Japan, to refineries. Because while we have many sugar mills here to produce the raw sugar, we have virtually no refineries in Australia that I'm aware of, and most of our sugar is sent overseas, and then we buy it back, or we bring it back refined, having paid them. Well, the sugar farmers do anyway. So yeah, that jetty is an amazing thing, and great for fishing too. A lot of people fish around there. You might have even seen some fishing boats in my video around those jetty pylons. Anywhere along there, apparently, you can catch fish if you've got a boat. Not bad. You can't actually go onto the jetty though, unfortunately. But you can certainly fly over it, which I did in my drone.
Well, you know, all your flights are good, but that particular video just seems to be one of my favorites. With the mountains in the background, the sunset, it was just a stunning view.
Yeah, it sure was. I hope some of the viewers of this interview will pop over and check out that video. I've just left it as world's largest, so that people go, world's largest what? And encourages them to pop into the video and see what it actually is. In the description, it explains what it is as well.
Of course, when you're flying drones in different areas, you have regulations and restrictions, depending on where you're at. Where you're at in Australia, is the drone flying really strict on how high you can fly and where you're allowed to fly? Can you tell me about the rules and regulations over there, where you're from?
Certainly can, Richard. The organisation that controls all of that is known as CASA over here. It stands for the Civil Aviation Safety Authority, and basically they lay out a set of rules which is not dissimilar to your FAA rules, I gather. You aren't allowed to fly within 5.5 kilometres of an airport, and CASA kindly put out an app, should I say, for your cell phone, which is a great feature to have, because wherever you go, you just open up the app and the GPS will tell you at that area exactly whether you can fly there or not and how high. General rules are 120 metres high. You're not allowed to go higher than that. We're not allowed to fly at night here, unfortunately, and I know a lot of people in the States do that. Not allowed to be closer than 30 metres to people, houses, or other private businesses, private property like cars, for example. They're the basic rules. If you have the license, I know you have the 107A over there. We have a similar thing over here, and if you get your license, I believe you can report where you want to be flying within those areas that are you're not allowed to fly otherwise, and virtually like log a flight. And as long as the local airport and CASA know where you're flying and when, you can access other areas. So certainly great to have a license for that, as well as, of course, if you want to do it professionally, then yeah, you're going to need a license. Otherwise, you're not allowed to fly in those areas, and you certainly limit your ability to make a living.
Mark, besides the drone, are there any other RC activities that you're interested in? And can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, most RC things intrigue me, but particularly flying things. I went through a phase a few years ago where I was flying RC planes, just buying the ready-made kits and fitting them out with the electronics. And I went to a local club here and learned to fly planes, but I did put a couple into the ground, and they're not exactly easy to repair. So yeah, I kind of gave that away after a while, and also, I mean, you were restricted to only flying at the local airfield, the local club, and I found that rather limiting. I would have liked to be able to fly in different places, hence my interest in the drone. I do have an RC boat, and there's a video of that on my channel, which some people might like to go and look at. It's only a little toy one. It's not even as good as yours, mate. I mean, you've got a really nice one. Mine is water-cooled, brushed motor. Only cost me about $40 Australian or something. But that was a bit of fun. And yeah, I'm thinking maybe an RC truck at some point in the future, but I'm not holding out my breath. I definitely want to stick with my droning for the foreseeable future. Maybe upgrading my drone from what I fly, as you know, the Phantom 3 standard, to something a little bit better. But you know, it does come down to the almighty dollar, I guess, in the end.
Of course, you know, getting the footage is one thing, but editing, that is the bread and butter. You know, I use Power Director 14. What editing software you use to edit your footage?
I use a software that's kind of a bit not very well known, I suppose you'd say, Richard. It's called Movie Edit Pro by Magix, M-A-G-I-X, Magix Movie Edit Pro. And I don't know anybody else who uses it, to be honest, and I've asked a lot of people. I mean, obviously, a lot of people like the, you know, the Flash ones, Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro. So that's, you know, that's the standard for professional videos. But, you know, I'm just a hobbyist like you, and Magix Movie Edit Pro does me quite nicely. It has multiple layers, and it allows for all the things that I need to do by way of transitions and zooms and yeah, color correction and that kind of thing. I've got another video on my channel that you might have seen, a collaboration video that I did, and that explains 3 other video editing softwares that I've known and experienced. So you and your viewers might like to check out that one. Certainly there's a lot out there, like you say, a lot of video editing software. But as long as people start off with a really basic one, so they don't get scared off straight away, and you don't have to do all of the flash things that other people do. I mean, you just start off with your basic, get your video footage onto your computer, and maybe just you know, chop it up into bits, the interesting bits, leaving out all the boring bits so that people don't get turned off by a long video with not a lot of interest in it. And yeah, just put those pieces together and then save it and render it up as a video. That's the easiest way to start.
Okay, Mark, that about wraps it up, buddy. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me in this interview. To all my viewers out there, make sure you go check out Mark's channel, Aussie Mark, and subscribe. Oh, one more thing. Is there an Instagram or Twitter page, Mark, that the viewers can follow you by?
Certainly is, Richard. It's I have an Instagram account which is known as Aussie Mark's Photos, one word. So people can look for that by all means. And I do try to upload a photo at least once a day, taken from the drone. And Twitter account, yep, I've got a Twitter account as well, and that's also Aussie Mark. So.
Okay, thanks, my friend. Be safe, happy flying, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks.
And to all my viewers, thanks for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channels, please do so. Don't forget to leave a like and comment, and I'll see you on the next one.